If you keep waking up at 2 or 3 a.m. with your mind racing or your body on edge or feeling panicked, this episode is for you because that kind of waking isn't random. Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Body Rhythm. I am so excited about today's episode because it really was a pattern of mine for many years since I was in college, and it was inspired by a recent student who was having the same issue. So if you keep waking up at 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning with your mind racing or your body on edge or feeling panicked, this episode is for you because that kind of waking isn't random. It's your body trying to process what it didn't have space to process during the day. And I keep hearing the same thing from women. They're holding everything together during the day, but waking up in the middle of the night with anxiety, emotion, or this feeling that something is just off. And this might be happening to you too. A woman recently shared with me that she's been waking up in the middle of the night with panic. It's not every night, but it's enough that she's starting to dread going to sleep. She's giving a lot during the day. She's giving a lot to work, to people, to life, to relationships. And during the day, she's functioning, she's showing up, she's doing what needs to get done, right? But at night, something is trying to come up. And this is where most people misunderstand what's happening. And if you've experienced this, waking up at 2 a.m., at 3 a.m. with your mind racing, your heart beating faster, or a feeling that you can't quite name, I want you to know this is not random. It doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It just means that your body is finally getting space to process what it hasn't had a chance to process during the day. So during the day, many women, especially the kind of women I work with, are in a state of doing, right? You're thinking, you're planning, you're organizing, you're taking care of others, you're responding, you're holding things together. And there's very little space to actually feel what's happening underneath. Not because you're doing anything wrong, right? But because your life is full, you got things to do. So your nervous system adapts. It says, all right, we'll keep going. We'll hold this together for now. But the body keeps track. And then at night, when things get quiet, when your system finally starts to slow down, that's when the body says, now we can process. And what comes up might feel like emotion, anxiety, panic, restlessness, a sudden wake up with no clear reason. But underneath that, it's often unprocessed life experience. Sometimes stresses from the day, and sometimes something goes deeper. Grief that never had space to be processed, emotions that were too inconvenient to feel in the moment, experiences that you've moved through, but you didn't fully process, because the body doesn't move on just because you keep going. It waits, and it waits, and it waits a little bit more. And the wait can sometimes be years, as was my case, right? Until it finally says, you can't keep going this way. So instead of seeing this as, why am I so anxious or what's wrong with me? I want to offer you a different lens. Your body is not waking you up to hurt you. It's waking you up because it finally has space to communicate with you, to help you. This is actually a sign of a body that is trying to come back into balance, trying to complete something that was never finished. But if there's no support for that process, it can start to feel overwhelming. And I just want to offer this. If this is something you've been experiencing, waking up in the middle of the night and not being able to settle, I created a short yoga nidra practice that you can use in that exact moment. You don't have to figure anything out. You can just press play, lie there, and let your body begin to soften. It's linked in the show notes if you want to use it tonight. I want to bring in something that the woman in my class said that I hear all the time. I've been giving and giving and giving, and I don't want to do that anymore. And this is important because when you're constantly giving your energy, showing up for others, meeting expectations without enough space for yourself, your system doesn't get to complete cycles. It stays in output, in alertness, in stress response. So when you finally do stop, your body doesn't go, oh, feels so good, it's time to rest. No, it goes, wait, there's a lot here we haven't processed yet. And there's only so much that the body can process at night, especially if we're not getting sleep, right? In my case, I would wake up at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I wasn't able to get back to sleep until maybe 4 or 5. And that's a couple of hours, 3 hours that the body doesn't get to process everything, to repair everything, to get ready for the next day. And so what happens? The body continues to push it and push it and push it a little bit more. This is why I talk so much about rhythm, because your body is designed to process, digest, repair at specific times. But when stress is high, when rhythm is off, those processes get delayed, and they often show up at night when things get quiet. And this is why you can feel fine during the day, but unsettled when everything slows down, unsettled when the noise stops, when the distraction stops, when you're left alone with your thought and your body and your feelings and your emotions. So what do we do with this? The answer isn't more control. It's not trying to force sleep, but it's gently supporting the body in a way that it's already trying to do. And this can look like creating small moments during the day of space to feel instead of just moving on. Slowing down transitions between one task to another, especially in the evening. Maybe having a gentle wind down routine, giving your body subtle signals that it's safe to soften before you go to bed. Because if the only time your body has space to process is at 2 a.m., which is probably making you a little bit more stressed out because you got to wake up early in the morning to be prepared to go to work or get the next day's activities done, right? Then it's going to use what it's given. And one of the most powerful ways that we can support the body is to give it cues of safety and support to begin to move the nervous system from fight or flight response into rest and digest response. And this happens throughout the day. It happens by giving yourself space away from distraction, away from screens, away from news. Maybe it's getting outside for 1 to 2 minutes. Maybe it's stepping outside of the office for a minute or two or going for a brief walk. It's giving the body practices that guide the nervous system into deeper rest while still allowing awareness. This is where things like yoga nidra or gentle somatic awareness or supported rest, restorative yoga, all of these practices become incredibly powerful because they give your body a place to process without being overwhelmed, without saying this is another thing that I have to do. They just allow the body to land. And this is exactly why I created a 12-minute guided yoga nidra practice specifically for women like you who feel this way. If you're someone who wakes up at night, who feels like your body can't fully relax, or knows there's something under the surface that needs space, this practice is a really gentle place to start. It's audio only, so you can listen to it before bed, when you wake up at night and can't get back to sleep, or even during the day when you need a reset. And there's nothing to do. It's about giving your body a different experience of rest. You can download it through the link in the show notes. And if you've been waking up in the middle of the night like this, your body may just need a place to settle. It may need another kind of support, a support that signals that it's safe to rest. This is where weighted blankets, I think, can be very beneficial because feeling that weight across the torso, across the hips, even across the ankles begins to signal to the body that it's safe and it's supported. Maybe try that tonight. Maybe it doesn't even have to be a weighted blanket. Maybe it's just a blanket folded up and put across the torso, signaling to the body that it's okay to relax. It's okay to receive support. It's okay to rest. And I want to leave you with this. If your body is waking you up, it's not betraying you, it's speaking to you, it's communicating to you. And the shift isn't, how do I make this stop? Ah, right? It's starting to listen. How do I start to listen in a way that feels safe for me? And that's a process. It's not fast, it's not quick, it's not the next fad, but you don't have to figure it out all at once. Communication and language is an ongoing dialogue between yourself and your body, and learning what the body needs in support of your life. I hope this resonated for you. If you're waking up at 2 or 3 a.m. and want to know what's going on, feel free to email me, Chelsea at chelseajohnsonayurveda.com, or DM me, Chelsea Ayurveda, on Instagram. Let me know what's happening in your body and how I can support you. That's it for this edition of The Body Rhythm. Thank you for joining me. Be well and nourished.